We get some actual info on Model 3 optioning, and the rest of the show is about the last 9 hours of my day with Model S. Here are your Tesla tidbits for May 29th, 2017. We start today with some information on Model 3's options. Tesla updated the compare page with some information in the Model 3 column for features. Now, we still have no guarantee that this is the full list of features, so the fact that some things are missing right now may mean nothing. However, the list is rather interesting. First, some of which can be considered the hard facts. Wheel sizes will be 18-inch standard for the 19-inch option, and that gorgeous glass roof is an option rather than standard like it is on Model S. Interesting, as you can't even get a body color roof on Model S anymore, even if you wanted to. And then probably the biggest eyebrow raise comes from the fact that the coil suspension is called out with no mention of air suspension. And then lastly tonight, I give you my impressions of my day with Model S. To say that this car is far and away the most amazing car I've ever driven is actually an understatement. Now, to be fair, I've not driven many high-end cars. The most expensive car I've ever been behind the wheel of is probably an Audi A4, more than 10 years ago. At least, if I have driven anything better, it literally wasn't memorable. Pickup was a non-event, other than my phone was not cooperating with the Bluetooth pairing. However, I am running Android O, which is beta, so I think this is just another on the list of weird things happening to my phone thanks to running a beta OS. After finally tricking the phone into syncing with the car, I set off. I had planned to stop at the only supercharger on my route for just a little top-up for top-up's sake, but then I realized halfway to that supercharger that I'd forgotten my laptop bag in the car. So I had to turn around to get it, which then actually necessitated using the supercharger. My first surprise of the day was actually how short the supercharger cable was. Totally had to try twice to back in far enough to the space. I plugged in with about 45% battery and headed for some lunch. I popped back 35 minutes later to a fully charged vehicle. I finished today having driven nearly 330 miles, and actually only 3% range remaining. So this guy has no range anxiety. During the day, I drove probably about 310 of those miles on autopilot. I developed what I'm dubbing the claw grip to satisfy autopilot rules for attention. It worked wonderfully, and only 2 autopilot nags in all that time. Not sure what exactly prompted them, but otherwise the technique was super successful. Autopilot was stupendous. The only exception were some local roads where there were hills which also turned at the crest. But on the highway, it was right as rain. I experienced none of the weirdness reported by many. The car is running software build 17.17.17, which is the latest I'm aware of at the moment. I've driven 2 AP1 equipped cars too, and though this was some time ago and fresh memory might be more helpful in comparison, I saw nothing today that wasn't equal to the task of the AP1 cars I've driven. That Elon believes a new revision next month will be, quote, smooth as silk, to use his own words, speaks volumes to me. It was already amazing in my book. I've been recording on the new camera throughout the day and plan to do more tomorrow. I'll edit it up and finish it off for a final video then. Hopefully you'll get a standard episode as well as the road show tomorrow. You can find the links to today's full stories in the show description. This show operates on a value-for-value model. If you get some value out of what I do each day, please consider supporting me at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. Thanks so much to my super patrons John Waltower, Drew Schuyler, Cookie UK, John Waller, Mark and Sarah Thomas, and Ryan Scarborough for supporting the show at the $10 plus level. But if you have nothing extra to spare, no worries. Please show your love with positive feedback and subscriptions on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and other services across the internet. Lastly, if you're in the market to buy a Tesla, you can get yourself $1,000 off and free supercharging on the vehicle if you use super patron Drew Schuyler's referral link at ts.la/Andrew1233. That's all for today. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard, as always, is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits. I'll see you back here again tomorrow. Until then, keep it charged and hit the road.